All right, good afternoon, Algebra 1. Mr. Walker back with you. Today we're going to start section 8.1. This is all about factoring. Now, what is factoring? It's almost like reverse distribution. And I know we took a quiz about 2 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago. And you guys did really, really well on that quiz. So this time, we're going the other way around. We're going backwards. So if we look at that first binomial, we got 6 times x plus 2. We're going to distribute this. And you guys are really good at distributing. I'm not worried about that at all. But just to reiterate, we're going to take that 6, multiply it by both of them, and we get 6x plus 12. That's nothing new. We know that already. We know how to distribute. Factoring is where it gets a little bit confusing, maybe. This time, we start at the 6x plus 12, and we want to end up back here at the 6x plus 2. So we start here, and we want to end here. So that's like our start, and that's our end point. To get to that end point, we just need to ask ourselves, okay, I've got a 6x plus 12. What number do both of them share? And in this example, it's pretty easy to see. We know that both of them share a 6, because that's what we started with. So we write a 6 down. As soon as we write that 6, we have to write some parentheses, because we're pulling it out of both numbers. And now we ask, okay, 6 times what gets me 6x? And I know that's just regular x, because if I take 6 times x, just like I did in that first distribution, I get that 6x. So we're good. We're on the right track. Now we ask ourselves, 6 times what gets me 12, a positive 12? So take 12 divided by 6, and what do you get? 12 divided by 6 is positive 2. Now, did we end up right where we started, where it says distribute? I've got a 6x plus 2 here, or I've got a 6 times x plus 2 there, I've got a 6 times x plus 2 there. So yeah, we're good. That's what factoring is. It's reverse distribution. We want to end where we started originally. Now, are we going to have that first distribution always? No. So let's look at that binomial. We got 5x plus 15. We just want to ask ourselves, what number does each term share? Here I've got a 5 and a 15. What is the biggest number both of them share? And here you may need to play around with your calculator and just start dividing numbers. Here, each number shares a 5. 5 is divisible by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. What's 15 divided by 5? Is it divisible? It sure is. It's 3. So if we wanted to factor this, I'd write down my parentheses and I'd ask myself, 5 times what gets me 5x? And I have an x. 5 times x gets you 5x. 15 divided by 5, that's a positive 3. I just said that. 5 times 3 gets you a positive 15. And just like that, we factored it. Now let's go over to the next binomial. We have a 3x plus 9. We want to ask ourselves, what number does each term in that binomial share? What number does the 3 and the 9 both share? What do they have in common? It's a 3. 3 times what gets you 3x? It's x. 3 times x gets you 3x. 3 times what gets you 9? So take 9 divided by 3, and you get 3. And just like that, we're factored. Again, we're always asking ourselves, what number do both of them have in common? And I'll come back to that red one, and that red hint in this example here. We want to pick the largest number possible. Let's look at 4x plus 12. I know they're both even, so can we pull out a 2? Yeah, we sure could, but I think there's something bigger in there, and maybe you've spotted it already. I'm actually going to choose 4. We want to pick the largest one that we can, and maybe I'll show you why here in a second. So we got 4x plus 12, and I want to factor a 4 out of both of them. I know 4 times x gets me 4x. What's 12 divided by 4? It's 3. Now, I know I've got a lot of x plus 3's in my answers. That's not going to be the case for every one of them. So don't just automatically write x plus 3. It's not going to work for all of them. It'll work for some of them, but not all of them. 6x plus 18. What is the largest number that both of them share? Yeah, you may notice that they're both divisible by 3, but is that really the largest one? No, it's not. There's something a little bit bigger. I can actually factor out a 6 out of both of them, because 6 divided by 6 is 1, so 6 times x gets me 6x. You can do 18 divided by 6, and what do you get there? We get another 3. So 6 times x plus 3. Now, like I said, I wanted to pick the largest number possible. And here's why I want to pick the largest number possible. Because if I look at this example here, this 4x plus 12, and I say, yeah, let's factor out a 2 instead. 2 times what gets you 4x? That's a 2x. 2 times what gets you 12? That's a 6. I can factor even more because there's something that a 2x and a 6 share, and that is a positive 2. So I've got that 2 on the outside, and I've got another 2 in here. 2 times what gets you 2x? That's x. 2 times what gets you 6? That's another plus 3. Look at how much work this is. And then we can say, okay, what's the really factored form? We take this 2, multiply it by this 2, and we get 4. So we're left with 4 times x plus 3, which is exactly what we got up here. Pick the largest one. We don't want to do all this work. That's bad news. We always want to pick the largest number possible. All right, let's look at slide 4. I want you to try these ones. Factor out the largest number possible. Go for it. Okay, hopefully you've had some time to try these out yourself. Now, I did warn you that x plus 3 doesn't work for all of them. These two are examples. I can factor out a 4 out of this one, and I'm left with x plus 5. And over here, I can factor out a 5, and I'm left with x plus 5. We want to pick the largest number possible. And again, if you're ever unsure, distribute your answer. And if you end up right where you started, then you're good. Let's check real quick. 4 times x gets you 4x. 4 times 5, does that get you positive 20? Yeah, it sure does. So we're good. Let's check this one. 5 times x, does that get you 5x? Yep. 5 times 5, does that get you a positive 25? Yep. We ended up right where we started. So yeah, that is the factored form. So I know this might be a little bit tricky for you, but give this a go on your CAMU worksheet today. If you got questions, please let me know. If you'd like to Zoom with me, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next video. We will see you next time.